Okay, so this is how your unit will arrive. We're going to go ahead and open this box up. Okay, so you're going to have your power supply here. You're going to have your Quartz Sleeve O-rings. You're going to have your flow controller. You're going to have your housing. And you're going to have your bulb and your quartz sleeve and your instruction guide. And you're also going to have your installation clips. There's two types of these. One has a screw. The other type is a plastic one that snaps on. So there's a couple varieties of these. Another thing to note here, your flow control has an arrow on it, and you want this on the inlet side of the tube. Doesn't matter which is the inlet or outlet on these tubes here. Just depends on which flow direction your water's coming in and going out. So you can pick either end. Okay, so I've gone ahead and installed our flow restrictor here. Again, the flow direction's going towards the unit, and this is going to be my inlet side. So I'll be mounting it like this. I want to go ahead and take these ends off. So just unthread these guys. This particular end is for the plug here. It's going to mate for that. And the other end is just a little dust cap. Okay. Now if you notice, there's some nice machine polished surfaces right here. This is where we're going to install our quartz sleeve into the unit with O-rings. So one thing you want to make sure is you don't want to touch this quartz sleeve with your bare hands or the bulb with your bare hands. The oil from your skin will actually degrade them. So go ahead and put yourself on some gloves here. We're going to go ahead and remove these tubes. There's little staples in here, so just pop the staples out, remove the cap. And here is your quartz sleeve. Okay, so what we want to do is go ahead and install the quartz sleeve into the unit. Here in the shop we actually have a wooden dowel that comes in real handy for doing this. So what you're able to do, first of all, you want to inspect this. And make sure you don't see any lint or anything in there. If you do see a little bit of lint, go ahead and take a real clean t-shirt, just kind of wipe it. You can also use a little isopropyl alcohol on it at this point in time, but you want to make sure it's visually, you can see through it real clear. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install our dowel into this sleeve. And we're going to carefully slide this into the unit. And when you get down to the end here, the sleeve kind of helps you pull it up. There, see? Okay. So now as you can see, we've got the sleeve sticking out on both ends. Like this. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take our little clear O-rings, and you want the distance of the sleeve sticking out on both ends the same. And this O-ring is actually what seals the sleeve to the unit. So this is what seals your water. You don't need to have all these fittings on the end, just hold the tube into place. The seal is actually around the O-ring and around this. Okay, I've tried to zoom in here. So we're going to take this O-ring place over the tube. And again, this is quartz, so be careful not to break it. Okay, so we got the O-ring up there like that. On this end, I'm going to go ahead and thread this in. So again, your O-ring seats up on the tube like this, and you're just going to go in there and you're going to go ahead and hand tighten it. And actually, I flip this around. This is my outlet end. And again, I pulled the quartz tube too far out, so I'm going to reinsert my dowel. Okay, and that really does help you guide that in there. Okay, so this is actually my outlet end, so I'm going to put the dust cap end in. Again, these don't need any thread tape, they don't need any kind of lube. This O-ring actually seals your water. So you're just going to hand tighten this in there and snug it up against that O-ring. If you over tighten it, you're going to break that quartz tube. Place the O-ring on there like that. Okay, again, I want to show you this O-ring on here around the tube. And we'll go ahead and remove the bulb from the packaging. Again, you don't want to touch these with your hands. Okay, and there's your bulb, and you can see the two wires coming down through there. Be careful not to break those. There again, now I've got the dust cap in the far end, so I'm going to install the bulb on this end. So we're just going to simply slide this in. And then we're going to go ahead and thread our cap on there. Again, these are just hand tight up against that O-ring. Okay, so you got your 4-prong end here. So now we're going to take our power supply. And again, this has an O-ring that's going to seal everything. The tube is sealed with the water, so no need to torque this down. You just want to hand tighten it, because if you over tighten it, you will break the tube. So we're going to go ahead and plug the bulb into the 4 prongs here. And then this slides in. Okay, so you see this little hole here, and there's a screw right here. So we're going to go ahead and slide this in. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have that screw go into this little screw area here. So we're going to go ahead and loosen this up, back this out, so the threads are flush. We're then going to go ahead, pop this guy in. So this screw is actually going to go down into this groove here. So it really doesn't matter which way it's oriented, but you want to place it all the way in. Okay, again, you want to make sure this seats all the way up right here. The screw is going to go into that little groove. So put it all the way up and then snug the screw. Again, there's no water pressure here. Okay? The only thing that's holding that water pressure in is these 2 hand tightened fittings. Alright, so now we're ready to install the unit up on the wall.